Except played in all the finals that we've been at.
He's never scored.
He never scored. He's not scored in those finals. Like, he can do more.
Yeah, exactly. Just to chuck this into the mix, if we were offered 150 million to sell him this summer, miraculously, if Real Madrid or Barcelona suddenly find some money down the back of the toilet, would you sell him? Because that's an awful lot of money that we could use to rebuild the squad in other places.
I would, because he does. If someone was to give me 150 million for Harry Kane, I'd take it, because I've got nothing to do with the club, so I'd be happy to take someone's 150 million.
I think you're.
You got to do something with the. You got to buy players, Steve.
Mad. You're mad. He's a once-in-a-generation player, you loonies. Why not build a team around him and just spend £150 million and get some decent players in to play alongside him?
But what about
and then
this?
He might score in the final.
What about
when
this,
everyone
Stace?
else is shirking off in the final, not just him.
But what about this,
I think
Stace?
you're missing my point, Stace. If someone's offering me 150 million quid, I'm happy, because I don't work for Spurs.
Right.
I'm quite happy to take 150 million quid. They won't get Kane because they don't own Kane.
No, if you were Daniel Levy and you're offered 150 mil, would you sell him and rebuild?
Bald-headed bastard does, yeah. He gives us.
He would do it. Oh, he would do it.
No, I don't think he would. Not for 150 mil. I think he'd want more. Like, how much?
I've heard a little rumour that Steve Hitchin and Daniel Levy are going to take over the side.
You've heard that rumour?
I've heard that rumour. They're actually getting sick and tired of everyone not listening to what they're saying and who should play on match days, and they're going to do it. They're going to run it themselves.
I think someone's winding you up, mate.
Well, bearing in mind, this is the man that only realised how to send GIFs on WhatsApp about 2 days ago. And we've all been flying them around for ages. And
don't. The Crawley Williams race team have only they sent me an invite via another service to join the WhatsApp race group. And I've only just done it. I'm like a year and a half behind. I've only just joined that link.
You got slow broadband.
When these Crawley Williams races, are they all on? Are you all on penny farthings, mate?
WhatsApp messages to get through. I ain't got time to do that.
Yeah, they all go around Crawley on penny farthings, don't they, with their top hats on and twiddling their moustaches.
That's me. I'm just drinking beer.
But this thing about Kane leaving. So I don't know what newspaper it was in. I think it was like an online version of a newspaper. So maybe the Sun Online or some bollocks. I don't know. And someone's tweeted it, and it's saying like he's got three choices for this summer, like Man United. I don't know if it was PSG, Man United, PSG, and I think maybe Chelsea or something like that. So
yeah,
three
that's
choices.
right. That was it. Yeah.
But someone's quoted something, someone's tweeted something, and but he hasn't got three choices as far as I'm concerned. I mean, apart from anything, the fact that Levy probably not going to sell him means he's only got one choice, and that's to stay. But if you take that and if you ignore the fact that Levy probably won't sell him this summer, he's got four choices. So that would be Man United allegedly, Chelsea allegedly, PSG allegedly, and to stay.
Or City.
No, and then five choices. So one of those choices is to stay that people seem to be ignoring. Kane's got decisions to make, blah, blah, blah. One of those decisions is actually that he might want to fucking stay.
I would say that's probably the most likely decision that he wants to make, is to stay.
Why would you want to go to PSG? Farmers League. It's like Scottish football essentially, isn't it?
Got a shit coach.
Did you watch the game yesterday?
Well,
Did you watch the
League
game yesterday? They were awful.
To Chelsea, Man United, or Man City, but given the opportunity to go Real Madrid or Barca.
Yeah, but they can't afford him, can they?
No, they're skint, absolutely broke. That's why they wanted the Super.
Real Madrid don't even have a stadium anymore.
That's been redone.
To play at their training ground.
See, I just think we're actually quite lucky that this COVID thing is here at this moment in time, because you're right. I'm not sure that many clubs can afford him. However, I think if the money's right for Daniel Levy and a bid comes in, I think it'd be very hard for him to decide to stay. I don't see us turning around our slump very quickly. And it's the first time I've ever thought he might leave. All the years beforehand, when everyone's been spouting off, I'm like, nah, he's going nowhere. He's staying. But, his loyalty isn't really being rewarded at the moment. And yes, he's gone missing in finals. There's no denying that. But you don't get to be as good as he is because you're happy to sit at a club that's, best achievement next year will be getting in top 4. I don't believe that. I don't believe that, but he's probably going to be unlucky. And I think we'll see Sonny go.
Wouldn't you say though? I mean, this thing about we're lucky with that COVID's here or whatever because no one can afford him. But on the flip side of that, if COVID hadn't been here, we would have had full stadiums, and money. As a result of that, we would have had the money to invest in the squad, and therefore we'd have built the squad. So it's kind of swings and roundabouts. So you're right about that, maybe, but by the same, and with all the associated events and various other things that were supposed to be, the bedrock to our model, our financial model for building finance and everything like that, which we haven't got an opportunity to prove where actually is what everyone thinks is the case. It would have been the case, and Levy would have used that money to bolster the playing squad. We don't know, so I think it's kind of swings and roundabouts on that as to whether
Yeah.
So tough.
No, very true. Very true.
Can you imagine that stadium get burnt down and blown up if he sells Harry Kane this summer? Honestly, I could see a riot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Literally see a riot.
Yeah.
I personally can't see him going, but
no,
you never know. You never know in football, do you?
No.
So talking about riots, what do we all think of these protests at the weekend? Do these people who are protesting, do they know what they're protesting about?
Certainly do.
Is this about the ESL or is this just about...
It's a build-up. It's a build-up on Daniel, and he's got... I've always said that he's probably got the best interests at heart of the club, but even I'm starting to doubt that a little bit myself at the moment. I think he meddles with the team and meddled with Jose and told him certain players weren't being sold. And that's not good if you're a manager and you don't want these players and you want to change them. We probably had an offer for Dele from PSG, and it was just point blank refused by Daniel. And I believe that. I believe that he does meddle with the team. He will. Whoever comes in will have Daniel Levy will come and see him every day, ask him how the players are training, and he'll get involved with it. And he shouldn't do.
They do have a 3-man board, don't they? So it's Levy, Hitchin, and the manager.
Right. Yeah.
Who decide on recruitment. So presumably
they've got to be comfortable working with Hitchin and Levy. But Hitchin's made a lot of mistakes with transfers, and Daniel Levy's made a lot of mistakes with transfers over the years. Yep. We all know that. Not scrimping by the 5 million or 6 million to go on and buy people. Bruno Fernandes was one, wasn't it? We could have had Bruno Fernandes. I think that was a target for Poch. Poch wanted him, but it was too much money. And at the end of the day, Man United paid it.
Yeah. Then we ended up with Lo Celso instead.
But yeah, I think there's some in there. Lo Celso's getting a lot of criticism at the moment. In there is a player, but obviously that stamp on the head didn't do him any good against Leeds because he wasn't really at the races. He was getting bypassed. I think
that's a good point, actually. You do wonder, don't you?
He probably... We needed someone else alongside Pierre. When you're playing the 4 at the back and you've got the 2 wing-backs going up the field, then you need a bit of extra support for Pierre. Pierre's played 50 games. He's knackered. He needs a break. Drop him and give him a rest and put Dyer in there. Play him in midfield and put young Rondon at the back. Or Tanganga. You don't shaking your head, Stephen, but I'd give Pierre a rest. I really would.
I wouldn't put Dyer in midfield on it without Højbjerg alongside him. Fuck that. Not a chance. I would have had Dyer alongside Højbjerg, but not in place of him. No chance. I'd rather Højbjerg walking around the pitch helping Dyer out than just leaving Dyer in there as the senior person to anchor our midfield.
I think we've got some brilliant youngsters coming through as well, and they just need to be guided correctly, don't they? We need the right coach to bring them on, but we still need additions in the squad. That's for sure. And I still don't think
Skipper's back next year, isn't he?
Skippy's definitely back. Sessegnon's definitely back.
Yeah,
and I think Parrott's coming back.
Oh, is he?
Oh, great.
I think Parrott needs to stay out for another year and stay with Ipswich for me for another year.
Yeah,
but. We got Alfie as well, Divine, who's going to be a cracking little player if he keeps on developing how he is, and I think we've got the basis there for a few good youngsters that could break through. Normally, only one or two breaks through, but the one that's looks like he can actually make a mark and actually play week in week out of Oliver Skip out of all of them for me, and then obviously Alfie Divine in the next few years. Maybe Sessegnon. Sessegnon couldn't do any worse than what Reggie's doing at the moment, could he?
But of course, to make this all work, we need a manager, a coach, and a coaching staff that can nurture these youngsters, but also take the first team forward. So, what do you think's happening with that, Jamie? What do you think? Have you heard anything from your sources on the next manager? Jamie's muted himself.
Yeah. Am I here? Am I back? Yes. Yeah. Sorry, Andy, you broke up there. Could you just?
Yeah, I was just saying, we obviously need a decent coach and coaching staff to take these youngsters, take the first team where we want, and what's your views on that?
Well, I mean, where do we go from now? I mean, we've done. I think we've done every possibility in the last 20 years of ENIC being at the club, really. I mean, we've had a decent up-and-coming manager in Poch. We sacked him off because everything went tits up. And then we got in Jose that's won more than we as a club could ever dream of winning. That went tits up. Obviously the recruitment's a big issue. I don't think it matters who's the next manager, because this just seems to be the fundamental sticking point that everything comes back to Levy being the issue. The setup, the structure.
You think is that bad?
We've done the director of football.
Yep.
With Baldini, that didn't work. Recruitment is piss poor. I think the business model just doesn't work for a Premier League club of our aspirations. But is it Levy's aspirations, or is it the fans' aspirations that aren't being met? And I think in terms of a manager coming in, I don't think it's Inzaghi. We're going to end up with a second-rate manager that's taken Fulham down twice in 3 years in Scott Parker or Harry Potter at Brighton. I keep saying, yeah, but they play nice football. Yeah, they play nice football, but what have they won? We're going back to bargain basement again, aren't we? And is that not to do with I mean, with both coaches, you've got. I mean, Parker is about to get relegated tonight, but I mean, with both coaches, and certainly with Graham Potter, who's playing nice football on a budget, and with the players that he's working with, and I think the issue is that you look at we look at coaches and we always want to have we've got to take the top coaches or whatever, and people we have this tendency to want to move away from British coaches, and because they're British coaches, they don't get the opportunities at the top clubs. And therefore, because they don't get the opportunities at the top clubs, they don't do well at the top clubs.
It's a vicious circle.
And
they don't get the reputation to therefore be the ones that are linked with the top jobs, and therefore we always go, well, I've got to have Ancelotti, or I've got to have